Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Hope you are all doing well on this fine Saturday. Oh, shoot, I think today is the 2nd, isn't it? I'm pretty sure if it is, it's Groundhog's Day or Groundhog's Day, whichever one. Groundhog Day. I think it's Groundhog Day. Who remembers that movie? Billy Crystal, I think it was a classic. That was a good movie. I got you, babe. That song kept playing every morning that he would wake up, and that's how he knew it was. Well, eventually he got the hint that it was the same day every day. Wow. I don't know what relevance that has, but I'm pretty sure it's the 2nd because on the 1st, which I'm pretty sure was yesterday, I saw that Groundhog Day was coming up on the next day. I've been out and about pretty much all day, so my mind is a little bit warped, my energy as well. So please do charge it to the cosmic currency in these streets. But anyway, they say, which I have no idea what the groundhog saw, that depending on if he sees a shadow or not, that means we're going to have a longer winter or an early spring. So here's hoping for early spring indeed. And in that regard, for an early harvest. So maybe that's the point of it all. Now I kind of want to know what the little bugger saw. So maybe if I find it, I'll post it on the community tab and we'll see. But anyway, yeah, let's see what we got here today. I'm literally like rubbing my eyes because I am a little bit tired. So let's see what the energy is. 3 of swords. Exactly. 3 of Pentacles. Not 3 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles. All right, so some collaborative effort, some, who even knows? You know what? I'm not even going to try to, I'm going to just take this one out because this is one of those cards kind of like the 2 of Wands, where it's like you can't really quite tell the nature of this 3 of Pentacles until you get into the message. So it could be a group of people working in a positive, for a positive objective, or as I'm having to clear my throat, or 3 people working, exactly, pardon me, 3 people working for some more mystical cause. Mystical meaning who knows what. Only those 3 quite know. So let's see what we got here without delay. Let's just get into it. Why don't we, right? Groundhog Day. I just got an energy like that's what the, let's see. Yeah, and oh my gosh, with the Fool card, I was just saying it's like somebody's trying to keep resetting. It could be time with Pentacle energy, but somebody's trying to run back an experience. Yeah, and here's the community here with the Hierophant, which in this regard, like I said, it kind of depends on what that groundhog saw, because, I mean, not really, okay, right? But, and for all intents and purposes of this message, I wish I knew, because it feels like somebody's wanting to control an outcome and for their own fit, and to make the make it work in their favor. And with the Fool card, it's like new beginning, but it's given the energy of kind of like the spirit of that movie where like every day he was waking up to literally the same day. Like somebody wants to keep energy on a cycle, like run back a cycle over and over again so that people are actually, but in their favor and by their under their control and dictatorship, so to speak, you know, but not in the favor of the person as it would be with the Fool card that just wants to like spring out and have an all new beginning, something completely fresh. It's like people want it. There's an oppositional energy that wants people to just be living the same mundane life every single day, the same mundane existence every single day. That's what is given. And that they're trying to forge a plot and a plan to interfere with time. I don't even know how that gets to be. Either to interfere with time moving forward or to... It's really, because the thing is, it's like with the, was it even Billy Crystal? I don't think it was. I think it was Bill Murray or Bill, whatever his name is. I don't think it was Billy Crystal. I think it was Bill Murray. But the thing is, time was moving. Each day he was aware or was expecting to begin a new day. But the events within that day were happening identical to the day before. So it was like he was moving ahead, but the life that he continued to wake up to was not. And to the point where it started to drive him insane, but then to the point where he almost started to just kind of go with it. I can't remember the ultimate end of that movie, but eventually it's like he kind of just like submitted to it, like yeah, you're gonna step, you know. Then he started to kind of interfere with the occurrences of the day because he had ran them so many times that, you know, he could warn the guy that was about to step in the puddle before he did, and he could, you know, finish someone's sentence before they finish their statement because he remembered it from the day before. You know, it was just kind of like, and then eventually it was to a point of it wore him out. You know, I wish I could remember how that movie ended and how he found his way out of the loop. That's what it is. It's like a time loop. So, the Hierophant is tricky here. It's like, it's given Lords of the Underground type of vibes that have some invested interest in obstructing forward movement and progression. Yeah, here, okay. Magician card here. This is a new beginning. I'm gonna move this up. This is a new beginning, exactly. So as I suspected, which I know I be knowing when I be knowing, I knew what I felt, but I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. First card out. Look, they're trying to corner in every opportunity for, it's like the Fool card starting over. Here's the Hierophant blocking that passageway. The Page of Wands, a new opportunity, new adventure, expansion. Magician card, it's like they're creating illusions to box in. I think it's the observance of a present reality of of new, if that makes sense. It's like, it's not even, it might be a matter of transition with the Page of Wands, which would actually be action, maybe physically moving forward, maybe even physically moving to another place or space or whatever. Fool card is kind of active too, but it could even just be an idea, you know, like a new perspective with the Fool card. So it's trying to block people from seeing their possibilities forward and from operating in the function of that forwarding. With what though? It's something illusionary with the Magician. And it's a corporate projection with the Hierophant, meaning it could be like, it could be an organization, it could be a coven, it could be a corporation, it could be a nation, hello, it could be a global institution, that could range, but it's a collective effort, as I said, with the Three of Pentacles, whatever it is, and it is a dark nature, it is of a dark nature for the most part. It's a very one-sided King of Swords. Yeah, it's a very one-sided ambition. Like it suits the favor of one or a number of individuals, but not the ones that it impacts the most, if that makes sense. i.e. not the masses. There's something that's being examined here. It's like, I just heard legislation. So it could be a matter of, especially with the Hierophant here, it could be someone that's trying to, this is interesting, trying to use some clause in natural law or spiritual law against someone. But the way that they're trying to use it, it's like, it definitely is illusionary. It's maybe even forging. Maybe that's the legal aspect of it, because a Hierophant can also be a judge, like some documents that have been forged, which again would shift a favor of a judgment in one particular, in a very unjustified way, let's say it like that, because if it has to be observed from an underground perspective and manipulated with the Magician card here, then it's not justified. It's not honorable with the King of Swords. And the King of Swords in this case may be some official, maybe a lawyer, maybe a financial officer, maybe someone in charge, or someone that has some authority to make decisions that, let's see what's after that, because I would love for it to be in the upright, someone that's willing to stand for what is justified, what is true, and to champion that. Let's see. Because someone, like, I just hear at mercy of the court, someone, look, and the Fool card is almost like throwing himself on at the mercy of the judge in some way, shape, or form. And the Page of Wands it's kind of a vulnerable energy to some degree. So something about this experience makes this new beginning vulnerable to manipulation in one way, shape, or form. Like it may be counting on something, perhaps even on the judgment of the fair judgment, mind you, of this, I don't even know, this don't even really know what it is. This case or this I don't even hear a word for it. That's crazy. Okay, another page. And then we got the Temperance card. Okay, so yeah. So that's what that is. That's amazing. And okay, so the King of Swords is someone that is present to create balance, maybe even ordained to be the eyes and the justice for this situation in a way that maybe is not observed, like someone doesn't see this person as being like the deal breaker type of vibe. But it's justified even from a spiritual sense and also from a natural order. Of course, this is how it gets to manifest. Like spiritual justice will manifest this way, not through the judge of which, or these high-powered officials, whatever this Hierophant is representing, the way that it should, because they have the power to do so, to make things fair, but it's happening through maybe perhaps even a lesser power, but someone that's been empowered by an ordinance that's higher than all of them. And it's sneaky here with the Page of Swords, because I feel like it's like almost like a spiritual spy or a spiritual assassin. Not that the Page of Swords is really so much an assassin, but in the sense of setting the record straight. So somebody that has the truth, that knows the truth, the King of Swords, and that's willing, that has an inside, like an insider's perspective of the truth, not just hearsay. This is a witness. Oh, a witness. What is this? This is a witness, maybe a surprise witness as to what really is going down. And that's going to actually stand up and testify, or to, like I said, set the record straight, whether this is like physical court or even if they just have some power to make an adjustment that would create fairness and balance. That would be enough with the Temperance card. You know what, the Groundhog Day, okay, if this is like an actual legal case, it's like people that keep manipulating the system or have been able to manipulate the system in such a way to continue to get rulings in their favor by very unjustified means, like forging documents, paying people off, going to specific judges that they have on payroll or in their back pocket in some type of way. Manipulating evidence or energy or just the truth in general, which keeps this turnover from happening of whatever the judgment is. Like they could even keep it in litigation by way of all of these, legal loopholes and stuff. And it doesn't even have to be actual court, but it just could be a ruling or some finality or closure on something that someone just keeps on playing around. Like I said, Groundhog Day vibes, where every time you go to court, oh, now it's another, now it's going to be another delay or postponement or continuance or whatever the legal terms may be, but finding some way to keep something kind of locked up in the system. So much so, like literally with that, as I'm doing this, like the infinity card here, like this continuous manipulation that's been happening to block something from moving forward as it would and probably should naturally. That's why Spirit is having to step in with the Temperance card to balance out what has been completely unfair at this point. And like I said, Hierophant, if it is a judge, in the oath that was sworn to, should be the one to be, anybody in the position of a sworn oath should be the one to be able to, to have the moral integrity to do what is just and what is right. But this is like in the chambers plotting, because the Three of Pentacles often gives me city hall vibes or municipal building, justice of peace with the Hierophant here, old bank or financial institution of some sort, old colleges, to have those historical architecture and things like that with the arches and things. That's what it looks like in the card. So yeah, definitely giving way to time, as I said in the beginning, where somebody keeps trying to run time, loop time over and over again. So as long as they can keep this thing in litigation or stuck in the system, it never has to truly be answered for. And somebody's here to change that up. What's on the other side of this Page of Swords? And it seems like it might be somebody that would be least likely to be the one, either to, like, I don't know, be a witness to everything that's been going on. Maybe that was a part of, that's why they have an insider's eye. Maybe turning on the operation in some way, shape, or form, or turning against. Maybe it could be a judge that was demoted or that was stripped of their title in some way, and now they're having to testify for their own security and to be in compliance with the law or the investigation, because sometimes, okay. This is like a breakup of a family. Child. That's what this is giving. So it could be, or with this, it doesn't have to be family. It could be soul group. So it could just be whatever that, like I was just saying, pretty much, like how there's an operation underway here, and whatever this person that has stepped out of this is what is crumbling the cohesion with the Ten of Cups. It's like somebody's happily ever after, whatever they were doing to bring a happily ever after or to try to maintain this wish fulfillment, whatever their desire was, to to hold on to whatever these assets were, whatever outcome they were trying to forge. Something has kind of like desecrated those high hopes. That's what I'm getting. And it could be family with the Ten of Cups, but 10 of Pentacles is absolutely blood family, like legacy. 10 of Cups could be soul family or soul group, or just people that are kind of like connected by their own choice, or for some collective ambition or ideal, usually in the upright, right? But what's throwing it off for me is the fact that this Three of Swords came out first. It's like whoever, maybe somebody stepping out, like, well, I did kind of say that already, but whomever is deciding to kind of stand up for what is right. Or like I said, also, this is someone that's breaking away from the inner circle or this inner sanctum that had the inside scoop, and that is in some way compelled to do the right thing, whatever that means at this point. Maybe they were always, I don't know. I ain't gonna dig too deep on that. But it's interesting to me that this Page of Swords is kind of looking at the Temperance. Maybe it's heartbreaking for the people that, or it will be a great detriment to maybe somebody that's going to have to do a whole lot of snitching. Like, it's not just a matter of telling one thing. If you say one thing, everybody goes down type of vibe. Or somebody might be caught up in such a way that they kind of don't have a choice, maybe for their own preservation, that it's like, if in order for us to make a deal with you, you're going to need to tell us everything that you know type of vibe. Strength card. Woo. Y'all see my cards all bent up. Strength card. Yeah. Somebody's will has been fortified here by honor. That's nice. I just heard your honor. So it very, very well could be a judge that's now just finding his own inner strength to right his own wrongs, or to stand for the oath that he actually swore by. And the standard that he has judged others by. Let's see what else. What's after the strength? Yeah, this is somebody that was like, it feels like somebody that was very much conflicted, because they were just as in, their hands are just as dirty as anyone else's. But for whatever reason, their willingness perhaps to, tell on what's been going on. And it's like, it could be partially noble, but it seems like it's more so for self-preservation. Like somebody's back is up against the wall. Literally, with the King of Swords, how his back is up against that throne or that pillar or whatever it is. It's like they may not be able to be a judge anymore, but maybe they can bargain to still, I don't even know how so, but perhaps stranger things have happened. They can still bargain to keep their what do you call it? Their license to practice law, Or maybe they won't have any of that, but they won't go to jail. You know, like somebody has some really high stakes here that have made it worth the information that he knows and that he's willing to share. Ooh, Page of Cups. I'm sorry, Ace of Cups. He's leaving a whole bunch of tears in his wake. But it's also like he's not getting that much out the deal because he's still, because of his involvement, he still has a great deal to lose here too, but not nearly as much as those that are going to be, that have really more or less been kind of handed over to this judgment. It's like he's looking back like, well, I don't have it bad quite as them. And it is kind of conniving in a sense with the Seven of Swords, because he's able to make this, he probably is able to make certain type of deals that he is because of his position as is, but also because of his proximity to the scheme. So it kind of sucks. It's like almost double agent type of vibes. Maybe that's what it was. He was like a double agent. Because I almost said that too, that maybe he always was a part of the sting, so to speak. Like positioning himself to be an accomplice when he really was an ally, when he really was like the ops or the enemy, or just a decoy or undercover in some way to see the inner workings of the operation, how it all works. But maybe he got really, I'm hearing like deep cover, you know, when he kind of like got too far into the role and was consumed by it to some degree, and started to really like almost get his hands too dirty in the operation, to the point where, you know, it's like, all right, where do we draw the line between your cover and corroboration or collusion, I should really say. I don't know. I'm getting so many things, but remember, we started this with the Three of Pentacles. Something is underground and secretive about this from the energy of the Three of Pentacles as it is. So, it may only be exposed in a courtroom setting at this point. Let me just get one after. Ooh, King of Cups. Ooh. Ooh. This might be the main man, or somebody significant. In the operation, only because it feels connected to this Ace of Cups, like he holds the ace and he pours out and decides who gets what, you know. But as it does trickle down from the top down, the head down, so will these tears. Because if he's being hemmed up in this exposure or this judgment or justice, whatever it is, then nobody's going to be lost in the shuffle. You know, it's like Nino Brown, when he was on the stand, he just started giving up everybody's name. Like, not even that, he put it off on, he absolved himself from being the mastermind. That's why it's not like the okay, thank you, Spirit. That's why it's not, because I was like, why wouldn't it be like the Emperor though? Why the King of Cups? Because he's a manipulator. This is someone, as Nino was, that will absolve himself of any leadership at all, and who did, like, which is so unrealistic, because I don't think anybody really would do it like Nino and get away with it. It was clearly Hollywood vibes, but decided to go against his counseling and just pretty much took over his testimony. Like, I was an associate, but I'm not the leader, I'm not the brains of the operation. Threw that, blame shifted that on to someone who was absolutely like a middleman, wasn't even I think he had actually, he shifted it on to the one whose hand he had actually stabbed in the process of one of his rages, who was brought into the fold by someone who was already a part of it. So he was like multiple connections away from the core of the operation, and he blamed it all on him and gave up everybody's name and was like, if you think if I'm going down, everybody's going down. That's this energy here. But not just to the point where I'm going to give up everybody. This is to the point where I'm going to manipulate, this is his last ditch effort to wiggle out of the absolute max of what he should be probably answering to. Not to say it will absolutely be successful, but that's the motivation here. That's the intention, to position himself to be just as equal to, like, say, the King of Swords, or some other faction of not the Hierophant. It's like he's diminishing his position as the Hierophant or the Emperor, or one of those more top tier positions of power, to just simply the King of Cups. This was my small part of it. And of course, that's enough to be credible with, for the rest of your testimony to be credible, but maybe quite not enough to get the maximum punishment for your crimes, so to speak, whatever they may be, whether they be spiritual, because with the cups, that's what it's given. This doesn't even have to be natural court, like court, the law of the land. This could be a violation of spiritual law that someone or someones are answering for, and they're trying to find a way to, like, wash the blood. There it is with the Three of Swords, to wash the blood off of their hands, set themselves apart in a way that is still accessible to the information that would be useful, but not holistically complicit, or I don't know the right word to use, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, he could very well be the brains of the operation, but he's acting like he's just like a lieutenant or a foot soldier, or, some second, third man in command, which is probably BS, unless it is a second, third man in command that is doing the turning, and that's kind of working both sides. I don't know, but it's giving me something here. It's giving me something, especially with the Seven of Swords, this King of Cups into the Ace of Cups. Like, he has the ability to break a lot of hearts, make a lot of people mourn and cry with this Ten of Cups because he has the information on, he has the drop on everybody. And if he's the one that is positioning himself to be of value to the case, then he does have the best leverage, perhaps, to leave everybody behind holding the bag. And to maybe, it's probably not get off scot-free, but maybe comparatively speaking, probably not nearly what he should be. But here's the thing that I always say. Man's court, you can make deals, you can have your day in court, you can take your chance with the jury of your peers, hopefully even get a judge that's lenient, if you're lucky. But spiritual court, temperance, Archangel Michael vibes, ain't nobody getting past that justice. Nobody will sideswipe that justice. And the judgment may feel harsh, but it will be fair, which is why there's no room for error. There's no wiggle room with spiritual justice, because it's exactly what you deserve. Nothing more, nothing less. Especially when you've come to the point of sentencing, because that means that you've had multiple opportunities for what? New beginnings, to take a different route, to do something different, to find better methods to produce something prosperous with your resources, to align with energies and forces that are benevolent in the highest vibration. That means you've had every opportunity to present yourself more or less to be, what do they call it? Like a productive member of society. Yeah. When you get to the point where there actually has to be a hearing, a case, any proceeding of question of your guilt or no, it's almost always too late, which is okay. That's what the delay has been. These energies, have been trying to offset their karmic retribution that they more or less probably evolved. They already know they're about to be ordered to pay up, to pay like they weigh. That's what it is. This manipulation of trying to reset time, reset the day, back, so that they don't have to answer for what they've been doing. And that's on many different scales. If you hear it, and then if you know, you know. That could be intimately with people playing around with your money, your inheritance, your property, things that are owed to you, even information that you should be privy to, and they've been holding it back because they know when you get it, well, at least they think when you get it, it's going to be a certain, it's going to be a certain sentencing for them by way of not having access to your energy in the way that they once did, or the way that they may still do. I hope not, if that's the case, if that's the questioning. But it could even be on a grander scale, such as globally, nationally, universally, where energies are trying to keep people from knowing who they are, knowing what they're entitled to, knowing what has been stolen from them by way of identity, by way of information, by way of spiritual and physical inheritances, land, opportunity, all of those things. Because if they were to acquire it, to obtain it, it would ultimately it would almost be like a forced judgment against those offenders. It just would happen naturally with the Temperance card. It's not like anyone that was more or less like a victim. Less, use that term because I have no other one to say at this moment, would what do you call it, would retaliate or do anything vindictive. You wouldn't even need to, because it would just it would just be the natural balance and order of life for the closure to be so on both sides, like the information that is due to you, or money, or whatever the final judgment is. Either way, it would be balanced on both sides, but it wouldn't be in the favor of those that, as I said in the very beginning, have an invested interest to reverse it, because they've been the ones manipulating it in their favor the whole time. So now you getting what you deserve in any way, shape, or form would mean that they would have less access to what they don't deserve, or what they've been taking liberty of unjustifiably. So for that, then we still come down to this, where, yeah, it's not going to quite work out in the favor of that they thought, though, because as it is with the Seven of Swords, thinking that you're leaving people behind, like, oh well, too bad, so sad. The Seven of Swords always meets his own demise in one way, shape, or form, and something else will devour him. And with this Strength card, this is given like, especially if this is spiritual justice. I was reading a scripture, and then I'm going to wrap this up, but I was reading a scripture earlier today about Elijah, and pretty much in 1 Kings, where I started was about chapter 18, and I kind of finished out the rest of the book of 1 Kings, but I'm sure you could probably start before that for more on that prophet. But he was just bringing the hammer down on folks pretty much, and it feels like in one aspect of the passages, he had prophesied that one of the kings, was that him or was that another prophet? It was in that book, but it may have been another prophet that prophesied that one of the kings their blood would be spilled in a battle, and the dogs would lick up their blood. And it's like, oh, this is probably kind of the inflection of that too. That's interesting with the king here too. And look, all this spillage going on. It was hella wars going on, which could, this Ace of Cups could even be other people's blood. You know what I mean? Their spirit, their essence being spilled on account of, look, he got all the swords, right? Not caring who gets beheaded in the process, as long as he finds his way out as unscathed as possible. But even still, as I said, what I was thinking is like, it looks like this lion is like licking its chops. And this energy in the Strength card is almost like an angel. Feels very benevolent here, maybe an earth angel type of energy with the infinity sign, and just how she's adorned. It feels like some other essence of human spirit here. Maybe it's just some ascended spirit in some way that's kind of like keeping the lion at bay, but just as soon as he thinks he's gotten away, it's like release the hounds type of vibes, and he may even fall on his own sword. There lies the fulfillment of the prophecy that they'll be licking up his blood, as sure as it is said so, So it's like, he ain't going far is the point. He ain't exactly. He ain't going far. He may think he's getting away, trying to leave everything that he's done, everything he's rightfully invested in with the Eight of Cups. That's saying that he had just as much, all this cup energy. I don't like it, because it doesn't feel good. It feels like spiritual. I just heard sorcery. There's some type of spiritual manipulation going on here. It's not happy-go-lucky cups like happiness, love, and all that good stuff. It's something weird here. But anyway, Eight of Cups is him trying to walk away, like as if he didn't have just as much involvement and engagement in these shenanigans, whatever they were, as anybody else did. Let's see what's on the other side of here. Let's see. Oh my God. Well, that's that on that, folks. No need to say any more. Prophecy fulfilled. So nobody gets away without answering for their spiritual transgressions, is the moral of the story. Especially those that have refused to repent, which just means change your mind, change your ways, go a different direction. Is like definitely too little too late here with the Eight of Cups, but it wasn't even pure anyway. It wasn't like he tried to go a different direction before shit hit the fan. It's like he's the reason perhaps why even shit hit the fan, or definitely why, I don't know, why it got blown around the room. And then he tried to walk away like, oh, well, I washed my hands of it, did the best I could do. Not really, but not that he thinks that at all, not in this energy, but thinking that maybe they're even just getting away with something, like, whew, wiping their brow like, that was a close one. No. Whatever is missed in man's court will absolutely be resolved in spiritual court. You can take that to the bank. And not for withdrawal. Those days are over. That's crazy. Well, that's it. That's that on that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until tomorrow. Maybe, actually, because today is Saturday. Maybe tomorrow, but if not, definitely Monday. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.